All right, beautiful people. We're going to be kicking it off here. Feel free to share the room. This is going to be a good one. Sarah and I over here dancing in the background to kick this thing off. We're going to hand it over to our fantastic co host, Dane, to kind of introduce the show today, and then we'll go ahead and get rolling. So, Dane, off to you.
Thank you so much, Jake. Yeah, we are super excited. Hey, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Good Humans with Wow. Again, my name is Dane, and per usual, I will be your co host alongside Sara and Jake Baumann, the creators of Women and Weapons. So, tonight, we are super excited to get the chance to sit down with Mai who is the founder of Curious Addys, one of the first educational NFT projects of its kind. And actually sold out on November 10th with all 5,000 NFTs selling out, which is pretty cool. Before this, Mai was a senior engineer at a billion-dollar Silicon Valley startup, as well as vice president of marketing at Logbar, which was a Japanese startup that created the world's first handheld offline translation device. She eventually made the journey over from Japan and continued her career in the United States. Mai shared her story actually in an article, "Why Women Should Always Do What They Don't Think They're Good At," where she actually details some of her struggles overcoming diversity in the workplace and eventually finding her own passion and strength, which I thought was really, really cool and a great read if you guys haven't done that yet. Mai is now leading the way, bringing in Web3 to the mainstream and making NFTs and crypto easy to understand. Mai and her team are providing education on the space with creative approaches to learning, a helpful Discord environment, and fun interactive games that allow you to learn and engage at your own speed, whatever your skill level is. So we cannot wait to get to know more about Curious Addys and Mai's journey. So I will go ahead and hand things over to Sara and Jake so we can get things kicked off. But yeah, super excited for this one.
Hello, beautiful Mai. It is so good to have you on tonight. I think a lot of people probably don't know, but I had the incredible opportunity to get to meet you whenever we were in Miami. We got to meet you initially and sit down and chat for a while, and then later on we got to enjoy the World of Women party together. You are genuinely the entire package, beautiful, kind, and unbelievably intelligent, and I cannot wait to learn a little bit more about you tonight and get to share some about you to the crowd.
Thank you so much, Sarah, Jake, Dane. Like, to start with, like, you guys prepped so well. That, like, first of all, like, starting from the music, it's so brilliant because whenever I start my own like space, I have this like awkward silence. I just don't know what to say, and it's like I'm gonna start in a couple minutes. Like, this is like really brilliant. And then like you did such a great research. It's just so amazing that
Thank
you did so
you.
much research and you just said everything that I wanted to say. So thank you
Well,
so
that's
much.
awesome. Well, I guess we don't have to do the show. We can sort of just wrap things up now.
Leave it on that compliment note.
We got it. Yeah.
We've got a whole list of questions here, and I'm so freaking excited to chat with you. But I think before we get into the questions, why don't we talk about how we got to meet you and our experience in Miami and all that kind of fun stuff. And yeah, I mean, we would just love to hear a little bit more about you and what all transpired. And yeah, I'll just go ahead and hand it off to you.
Yeah, so I like. Can I start with how we met? It was
Yes.
Go for it, girlfriend.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, thank you, because I love the story, because like I went to Miami and I knew Brenda, because I reached out to Brenda. She's advisor of Women and Weapons, so I have been knowing this project for a while. And like, if you look at the pictures of like founders, like, you don't know what kind of person they are, right? But like, so I was, when Brenda said, hey, like, Sarah is gonna be there, like, to Sara and Jake are gonna be there. So I didn't know Jake was there, but like, she said Sarah's gonna be there. So like, I was like feeling massive social anxiety of like, wow, what should I talk, and like, what if she's like, not nice, and just like really feeling so
Aw.
scared. But then, like, after I met Sara and Jake, they're just so nice and just so accommodating and so genuine, so kind. And just like, we met like the first time, but it was just so fun, like, experience, that I was able to chat, and like, we spent like maybe hour together. And then after that, we met in like World Women event together. And after that, I felt like long time old friend, so like,
Yes,
I was
definitely.
Yeah,
That's
it takes
So
funny.
like 3 or 4 times for them to really start being mean and yelling at you. That's once you
Yeah,
get to three
right.
or
Dane would
four,
know,
then it
wouldn't
gets
he?
rough.
Yeah, right. And so I got to tell everybody here, I think we met for the first time we were at like a coffee shop or whatever.
yeah.
And Mai is one of those people that we sat down for about 5 minutes and I was like, Mai, please stop talking. Put your phone number in my phone. We're working together. We need your brain.
We need to keep in touch with
You are
you.
so brilliant, and so I'm just so happy that you're here with us. You're just such a wealth of knowledge, and like, I mean, this is going to be an amazing show. And so, yeah, we've got a wonderful list of questions, and we'll go ahead and hand it off to Sarah to kind of run through them. And I'm so excited to hear some of your answers.
So, you have a super interesting background between, Japan and engineering and all of the past careers that you've had. So, if you could maybe tell us a little bit more about yourself and where you got your start initially.
Yeah. So I think Dane kind of explained really well about like what how I came from, like where I came from. But so I'm originally from Japan, born and raised in Japan, and I always wanted to come to the States. And since when I was high school, but like coming to America is really, really hard. Maybe like some of you might be from other country, but like getting visa is like really, really hard. So it took me like so many years. And 4 years ago, finally, I was able to come. But so I always wanted to start a company in the States because my grandpa and grandma started a company together after World War II. And they like really started from scratch. So I always wanted to start a company. But if I start a company, I always wanted to start in not in Japan because I wanted to create the product that everyone in the world will know. So that's how I start really like having this dream. And then I came from the background of engineering marketing, just like Sarah said. So it comes from like really weird experience of like, so I studied business and I joined this company, and then I joined the company as a sales. But then that company offered everyone, all the new graduates, to like programming training. And so I joined the program training, but then I was so bad. So I was like second to last, and it was just so bad, and I felt so bad. But I like the idea of programming. I really, really enjoyed being able to like build something. So I decided not to go to sales, but decided to join this research and development department. And that was a huge mistake because it's research and development department. Everyone else was, one, they're male, and two, everyone is has master degree and PhD of computer science.
Oh
So I
man,
felt like, oh, this is really not the place I should be, because like I was so different from everyone else. um,
yeah.
and then though I worked there for like a couple of years, I kind of lost the confidence, and also that company didn't get me to America. So I decided to join a startup that makes a translation device, and worked there for 2 years, and finally became VP of marketing. And that job got me to finally to the States. And I didn't know anybody when I came here, so I just picked San Francisco because it's closest to Japan. And in San Francisco,
Interesting.
The
yeah,
shortest flight to get over here.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, and the weather is nice. So
Yeah.
I came
Yeah.
there, and then everyone else, my roommates and everyone was engineer. So I kind of like started thinking about, okay, maybe I want to start programming again, but still I didn't have confidence. And then my husband Ben really encouraged me to start again, saying that if you are not confident in something, you can maybe overcome your lack of confidence by trying again. And if you are good
Mm.
at it, that's great. And even though you fail again, you lose nothing. So it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
you've given
yeah,
it every possible chance, and I think
yeah,
that's huge.
exactly.
That's
So
awesome. And yeah,
yeah.
Ben is one of the good ones too. I'm
Yeah,
so
He's
that
so
sounds
sweet.
he
like
is
it.
so darn sweet. We absolutely loved meeting him as well.
And can I
Thank
say that I
you.
am so happy that he empowered you and kept pushing you and that you kept persevering, because you are such a massive blessing, I think, to the engineering world. I mean,
Oh,
without a doubt.
Yeah, and I mean, just this space in general. I mean, we're just so lucky to have you. You're making an enormous difference. And so that kind of brings me to our next question, which is, you had such an interesting background, like you laid out, but what was the transition into cryptos and NFTs like? Like, was it difficult? What did that story look like for you? Because it's different for everyone.
Yeah. So I started investing crypto in 2018, and yeah, so it was I started from Bitcoin, and right after investing, I completely forgot about it, and then right after I forgot about it, it crashed so hard,
Yep.
and I didn't realize until like next year. So then I when I saw it, it was already like went up. So I didn't have like bad experience of like this huge crash.
Mm.
And yeah, and I just started learning about Bitcoin, and I was just so fascinated by this, like how this technology solved this current financial systems problem,
Yes.
and how Bitcoin beautifully solved the problem by using the like computer code. So I started being really interested in blockchain stuff, and then I started learning about Ethereum, and even more fascinated because like this power of smart contract and being able to like build like more things onto the blockchain feels like really powerful idea. So then I
Yes.
started like investing more like ETH than Bitcoin. So and since then, like I love this industry because every day new thing come out, new protocols, new scheme, new project come out. So there's unlimited things to learn. So the journey has been really fun to just learn things, new things every day.
And now
I'm
you
gonna
get to
just
teach people too, which is cool. Go from learning to teaching.
Yeah, like so because like everyone else are feeling the same thing, like it's really overwhelming and it's really intimidating. It is really good motivation to build something that really lower the entry barrier, because when I first joined, I was so scared of like putting money and using MetaMask, and I just
Yeah,
feeling really like
understandable.
yeah,
Yeah.
anxious about it. So yeah.
I
I
think
think
that's a
there's
big barrier for a lot of people coming into this space is kind of getting over those hurdles about how to get
yeah.
started.
Yeah. Yeah.
It,
It's
it people have different reactions. Some people hear crypto and blockchain and they kind of go ugh, and their eyes glaze over, and then other people have sort of that other visceral reaction where they're like, wait a second, explain this a little bit. They start to see the social aspect to it. They start to see the blockchain behind it, how everything starts to piece together, and you build. Some people really build that interest, like I think you did. And so how did you end up, because you were interested in that eventually led to Curious Addys? How did you guys come up with that idea?
yeah, so it this curious is that so we weren't really into NFTs before, but then we started like learning about NFTs, and then just start really noticing the power of NFTs. NFT is going to be blocks of metaverse, and it's going to be different using it's going to be used for different applications like art, virtual immersion tokens, and then we started really being interested in E. And then like we had this idea of education, because we actually start like building Tamagotchi. Do you know Tamagotchi?
Oh, yes, I remember Tamagotchis. I'm a 90s baby.
So glad everyone knows, because like it'll be sad if but we started like kind of building the Tamagotchi thing that teaches the Tamagotchi will teach people about like crypto. But then because we found about NFTs and found out that like this NFT is actually the best way to build the community, so we started like really building NFT project as educational project. So yeah, that's how kind of like Curious idea came from. And if I can talk a little bit about ADHD part. So
Absolutely. Yes, please.
Please.
yeah. So when we actually started Curious Studies, that was the time that I got diagnosed as ADHD. And that was actually like huge kind of revelation for me, because I used to beat up myself for not being able to do certain things, like I can't clean, or like I forget like lose millions things. And
Hmm.
yeah, I just like, and I didn't fit in Japanese society because I just simply didn't like didn't agree on what society believes that that people should be. So those struggles, like I just was, and also I was really rebellious as a kid. So I've been always like wondering like why I'm this way. So ADHD actually, the diagnosis of ADHD actually like helped me to like stop beating up myself for those like difference. So yeah, and ADHD people actually are like labeled as like lazy or like not working hard and attention deficit, right? And it's really disorder, but it's really not. And then we really want to change the stigma to be so many different things, because it's not attention deficit, it's actually attention surplus, because we are
Yes.
so focused on what we love, like we just forget eating, or we just forget cleaning, or we just forget like lose like phones, right? So like, and really want ADHD people to be proud of who they are, and really like bring in what they are good at, what they are passionate about, and really like like focus mainly on what they can do. So that's why we create this like octopus, ADHD octopus Curious Addys, and Addy is like the octopus who is interested in so many things, like and open to so many experiences, and holding so many different items on in its arm. So that really reflects the idea of ADHD, like being open to experience and like being curious about everything.
Yeah.
So I recreated this octopus character, so that then hoping that people will love Curious Addys and with the concept of ADHD.
Well, I'll tell you, I am not like officially diagnosed with ADHD, but I'm like 100% certain, especially being an occupational therapist, that I do have it because, like, I always tell everybody that my brain inside is like having 17 television screens open all the time and they're all playing something different. Like, I'm focused on a million things at one time. And like you said, sometimes that means that you forget to eat or you forget to do this or whatever. But I think people also forget that, with having ADHD, it's not necessarily such a negative thing or such a stigma because like Jake, he cannot multitask for the life of him, but I can do like 15 tasks at one time, no problem. So it's really interesting, and I love that that's something that you're kind of breaking down that barrier on because it is like kind of like a attention surplus, really, I guess.
Yeah,
Um,
drinking from the fire hose, kind of. You're getting so much information at once. Because I've suffered from the same thing my whole life, and I think it allows you to. I think anybody who has ADHD, like really and truly, like I know Sarah does because I've hung out with her plenty. I see the telltale signs when she's bouncing off the walls or jumping on me or whatever it is. But you also see that each person who has that has so many different things they're interested in and hobbies and things that they want to dig deeper on, but sometimes it's like they can only get 20% in because that new shiny thing comes up that they're like, oh my god, I'm so interested in that. And you sort of get to put your hand in everything, and if you can learn how to control it, it really can be, like you said, a beautiful part and a really cool part. I love that idea that you put in there, that there are good aspects to it, and I think that that goes with every negative thing that people have.
I'm actually convinced that like most of the people who are in NFTs are actually like probably like a little bit of ADHD or like really ADHD, because
yeah,
NFTs
I
like
agree.
yeah, right, because like it's so new thing, and like, if you unless you're so open minded, like you wouldn't get in because you just keep like you just feel skeptical and then you stay away from it. But like people who are open minded and like willing to try new things will come in and like try. So
Mm.
yeah, yeah.
So, Mai, tell us a little bit about like your team and how you guys came together on Curious Addys.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have just such a rock star team for anybody that doesn't know. I'm really excited to hear about this one, how it came together.
Yeah, thank you so much for asking. So, like Ben and I are founders, and now we have 5 engineers and one product manager and 5 marketing community engagement team.
Oh my
And
god.
because yeah,
Wow.
because now I see Brad and Momo, I let me talk about them now because they are the most amazing people and they have the best story. So our like recruiting philosophy really is like focusing on like not traditional background, but like really focus on like what they have. And so Brad joined our Discord on day one. So he's our operation manager, but he joined our Discord day one, and he like start chatting with everybody. And we were like, I think Ben has met him. Ben argued with Brad in different server or something, but they haven't met, right? And and then
That's
Brad
awesome.
started chatting with everybody. And then like we were like, wow, he's amazing. And then there's one day that Denica like shout out about us in his Discord, and like 10,000 people join in one night. So we were
Oh
like, oh my god,
wow.
what should we
Whoa.
do? Like we have to answer questions, and like we have to greet people. And then like Brad, we didn't even ask. We like specifically told him to go to sleep, but he refused to go to sleep, and he just like just like did the all nighter, and he just like really worked, like chatted everybody and asked all the questions. So we are like, if we lose him, like our community will die. So we decided to like
Oh,
actually have him in our community. And then because Brad joined, his wife Momo also joined, and it was super big addition because she is so passionate about bringing women to the space. So she came up with the idea of like making a group of like women of metaverse.
Uh-huh.
So like in this, and we have the channel called Women in Crypto, and she single-handedly really answer questions and like really welcome new female members to make the like safe space for them to talk. So like they are like really really amazing community like members to our team. And then we have three engineers, one Lu, and she's a director of engineering, and she actually is 19 years old.
Oh wow,
And
that's amazing.
yeah, she started
man.
programming when the age of 9. Yeah, and she made her own way to Silicon Valley startup at the age of 17, and now she has like the equivalent level of like senior or principal engineers in Silicon Valley like startup, because she like was definitely the best engineer.
That is
She was working
amazing.
at the best. Yeah, she's like the huge problem solver. And whenever if you have problem, like you just give the problem and she just solves it. So, and when she joined our Discord, like immediately after, she started reading about like Solidity documentation and like just read all through of it. So it's just so crazy.
That
And
is
we
no
have,
joke at all. Like
yeah,
I used to play software developers and engineers, and that, I mean, just hearing that, that's pretty amazing.
yeah, it's so amazing to have her. And we have two engineers. They're like really self-directed. If you give them like spec, if you give them like this is what I want to build, and they'll just like build and like pass it to us. So it's really easy to build things. And we have three other community members and one product manager. So yeah, all came to like with the vision of like really make Web3 go mainstream, and they all came from very different backgrounds. One of them from Syria, one of them from Lebanon, one of them from Philippines. But it's just so easy to find people in this Web3 environment because people it's so flat, and it's so easy to meet people. It's so easy to like get to know what kind of person they are, and
Hmm.
if they're hardworking, we just put in the team. So it has been really blessed to have this amazing community, amazing team members.
That's so awesome. And I've just got like a special place in my heart for Curious Addies because I love people that are actually building something. And you
Mhm.
all are a true group of builders
Hmm.
building something interesting and contributing something special to this space. And that kind of leads me into my next question, which is like we were talking about earlier, such a barrier to entry for people is like the logistics of how to buy NFTs, how to buy crypto, what's MetaMask, what's this, safety, X, Y, and Z, how to avoid all these different things. And you guys have put together, in my opinion, one of the absolute best courses to kind of handle the gamut of that. And so I'd really love for you to talk about what that looks like, the costs associated, your partnership with NAS Academy, and yeah, I just would love to hear more.
Yeah, thanks for asking. It's so we, as Jake mentioned, all we wanted to do is just really build. So since we launched in November, we have been really heads down building products. So one of them is so we built actually three courses with NAS Academy. So Nas Academy is like founded by this person called Nusayer, and he's the founder of Nas Daily, and he makes a 1 minute video every day, and that video is really informative, talking about environment, culture, and so on. And he has 48 million subscribers across all the platform.
Yeah.
And now what
His
he wants
videos
to
are amazing too.
yeah. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend. It's really easy to consume, and it's really easy. It's really fun to watch. So yeah, highly recommend it. So he has gotten this skill of making great videos. So he now is using the skill to make a video courses with so many different people. Like one of us, so he made the one crypto course with MetaCoven, and he is actually, maybe everyone knows, he is the person who started this NFT craze by buying Beeple's artwork for $69 million. So he's
Wow.
the one of the first one, and we are the second one to create the courses with him. And we built the course. The first one is Master NFTs in 7 days, which covers like really basics, like what is NFT and why NFT is revolutionary, why NFTs have values, and it will like cover more tactical aspects of like how to set up wallet, how to buy, sell, mint, and then it will go to very advanced of like how to read the smart contract, how to like write a sniping bot, and how to use hardware wallet. So we designed it to be more of like for everyone, even for beginners or
Mm.
someone who is already advanced. So that course is going to be free for ADI holders.
Awesome.
And yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome.
and we have two more courses coming up. One is about cryptocurrency, and another is about Web3 development. So both are all free for ADI holders. So that's something we are really proud of.
That
And
is so cool.
yeah.
Unreal, really and truly. I think I mean, going about it and the way that you guys are with the courses is amazing. And then you also have the Curious Addys trading club. I'd love for you to tell us a little bit more about that, because I honestly thought that was one of the most interesting parts that I read about.
Oh yeah, thank you. So yeah, just exactly what I said. We just launched the first beta version of virtual trading platform. So if anyone's interested, go to trade.curiousaddys.com. So that is you can probably see the trading. So it looks like Coinbase, but it's actually hypothetical money. So
Mhm.
like investing money, cryptocurrency is so scary because it's such a volatile asset.
Yeah.
So yeah, we wanted. So for example, I'm interested in Alchemix and Pendo, but I'm not sure if I should put like $10,000 in. Like it's just so scary, right? So this platform allows you to kind of practice investing in different cryptocurrencies. So you are given 100,000 US dollars, and then you can invest in Bitcoin, whatever the current cryptocurrencies are interested in, and then you can see the gains and loss uh, with like completely virtual like
And
platform.
does it simulate the market as
Exactly.
is?
Exactly. Yeah. So
That's
it will.
fantastic.
So cool.
Yeah, I've just got to say that, like, I think this is just so important and so cool. And if you are someone in this space and you're considering, allocating any amount of capital to NFTs, I highly recommend that you go through this course, like
Mhm.
whatever level you may be, and then take the next step to do this virtual trading club. I mean, when I got first started in investing in stocks, equities, etc., you know what I mean? I had to play with a paper money account first, so that I could build the skill set necessary to invest intelligently. And so I love that you're creating an ecosystem for people to be able to do that in this space so that they can play without the risk to
Yeah.
gain the necessary skills and then implement them.
Yeah, I think it's really important because anything that you do in blockchain really costs money, and it's just so scary to jump on. So like people here, I really think you guys are so brave to jump on, and you have to be so risk tolerant. But like
Yes.
if we want to make it more mainstream, we really have to make it more risk
Exactly.
free to start
Yeah.
with. So yeah, so we're really excited to like make the space where people can start with like step by step, and then if they're comfortable they can move forward.
That's definitely something that I think would help a lot of people get into the NFT space a little bit more comfortably, is to feel like they're going in with a lot more knowledge and a lot more capability to be safe. Which kind of brings me to asking you, like, what are some of the biggest milestones you've hit so far, and what have been some of your biggest struggles thus far?
Yeah, so milestones we just had the Twitter space with all our advisors. Nick Hill from Alchemy, the biggest infrastructure for blockchain development, and Nusayr, Randy Zuckerberg, and Zeneca. So four of them are together, and we announced all the four products that we launched. So one is, as I mentioned, the trading platform, and another is sorry, trading platform, QA bot. Yeah, so that's trading platform is one of them, and we built three other products. And the first one is portfolio tracker. So this is only available for holders. So you can see gains and loss for your portfolio, and see how your NFT goes. This is the real one. So
Yeah.
if you have NFT, if you have women and weapons, you can see how the portfolio goes up. I mean, you guys did so well, so the portfolio will look so great.
But I gotta stop you right there. So this is actually a tool. Just because I wasn't familiar that you guys were doing this, and I love that. This is an actual tool where you can connect your wallet, like actually connect and see your portfolio gains and losses in real time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow,
Awesome.
that's amazing.
I love that.
Yeah, it will show total gains for all the project and total gains for each project and gain for each NFT.
That is really, really impressive.
Yeah, it's like I keep telling people, anybody that asks, like, who are the real builders in this space, I always come back and say, you guys and gals. I'm just so freaking impressed by you. I love that you're doing that. That's so cool.
Thank you. That's something that we really want to keep building. And other two, I'll make it quick. Other one that I have been working on personally is called adventure.curiousaddys.com. So it's a platform. It's basically interactive tutorial. So in order to learn things, the best thing is actually do things.
Yes,
So
agreed.
yeah. So we built this play platform where you can actually mint and buy and sell NFTs completely free. So how it works is that for minting, we are using Polygon network, which is so much cheaper than Ethereum mainnet. So we will send everyone who go through this tutorial Matic, which is the native currency of Polygon. And so no one has to get the cryptocurrency to actually start minting. They get the Matic, and then they mint, and then they get the first NFT on Polygon network, and it will show up on OpenSea. So that's we have been building. And the second module we teach how to buy and sell on OpenSea, because buy and sell OpenSea has to be really easy, but it's actually really hard, right? Like making offer, you have to like get the wrapped ETH, and like what the fuck is
Yeah,
wrapped
but
ETH,
then
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So it has to be like explained in the process of doing it. So we just created this platform where you can actually buy and sell. And this one we use testnet. So we send the fake ETH so that people can start buying and selling on the testnet. So that's the second one. Okay, I'll stop. This is the most exciting one, so I'll stop right there. But
I love it.
Oh gosh, Mai, you're the best.
Mai, you're killing it when you're like, let me stop there. We're doing too much. Let me just let me let y'all marinate on that what we're doing just with those couple
I feel like
things.
Mai just dropped the mic and like walked away just then. She was like, "There you go, boom."
That's so freaking funny. But I do
You're
want to
so
ask
sweet.
you though, Mai,
Yeah.
what do you see long term, you being able to build and do in this space? Because I mean, it's not so frequent that we have someone with your brain power on this space. I'm just blown away by your brain. So I'd love to see, where do you see the macro environment of NFTs going, and then your project in general.
Yeah, so what I am really hopeful is, so I thought NFT will like if we have been like talking about this, but usually it's 4 year cycle, right? Like 2013 is bubbling and just like complete die down for next 3 years. 2017 like bubbled and completely die down, and we thought that like it's gonna be the same thing for the 2021 and just bubbled and just now it's going down. So East seems to be like going that way, but NFT is really not seen coming down, and
Yeah.
more and more people are jumping onto the space.
Yes.
And because of that, like I've seen just Andreessen Horowitz just raised $4.5 billion for like fund to just invest in like Web3 related startups. So because the money is there, like a lot of developers are coming in and
Yes.
a lot of startups are going like pop up, and those are going to improve the user experience of Web3. And right now, user experience of Web3 is just so bad, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Agreed.
It's why do we have to go to Etherscan and like look at the reason of failure, and we don't even know why it fails. So
Yeah.
that's like unbelievably bad. So, but if more people, more developers will join, more startup will pop up, then the user experience is going to be so much better, and more consumers will feel more excited to join, feel more comfortable to join.
Yeah, more
So we are really excited to be part of it and help the ecosystem to grow and be better.
I
Yeah.
think you are going to do like absolutely massive things in this space.
I think there's no way you don't. There's just so much utility behind what you're doing. Like everything you say, I'm like, I would love that. That sounds
Yeah, and
awesome.
and
I would
and
love to
hopefully
get like
hopefully
yeah.
hopefully everybody after this 30 or so minutes that we've been talking understands when I was saying at the beginning where I was like, Mai, I'm going to need you to stop talking after like 5 minutes and just give me your number because we've got to work together. This is why you are now kind of seeing just the brain on display. We're so happy to be chatting with you.
Yeah, there's a reason I kept saying the brilliant Mai would be on Good Humans with Wa, because she is really brilliant.
I tell you what, they were excited every time we were talking about this coming up show. Jake was like, "It's gonna be great. She's gonna have so much info. It's gonna be great."
Yeah, it's normally there's some element of anxiety, right? Whenever you're bringing up different personalities and everything like that, but as soon as we knew that you were coming on, Dane kept asking me like, "Should we think about?" I'm like, "No, it's going to be wonderful. Don't even worry about it. It's
You
gonna
two
be
are so sweet.
yeah." But I know that Dane had one last question that he was really
Yeah.
proud of, and we want to be
So-
respectful of everybody's time, and we'll get to questions towards the end. But Dane, go ahead and take it away.
No, yeah, I wanted to get this one in because I thought it was really important. But I mean, you're an advocate for women in the space, and you speak about your own story of sort of losing confidence as a software engineer early on in your career, and only to come back stronger, more confident at a later point. And I think your story speaks not only to women but to anybody, like all people who don't have the right resources or support around them to succeed. And so, what would you say some advice is that you would give to people on like persevering and sort of regaining their confidence and moving forward? And it doesn't have to be in the NFT space; it could just be in life in general. And then we'll move to questions.
Yeah, I really appreciate asking this question because this is the thing that I feel the most strongest, and I really, really want to push this forward. So yeah, confidence is like really hard. I think everyone feels like lack of confidence, especially you're trying new things. Like for
100%. Yes.
sorry,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like it's really scary, and it's like, but if you're feeling not confident, I always say to everyone that you are in the right place, because like if you're like not learning new things, you're not trying new things, you never lose confidence. Because you're trying new things, you feel imposter syndrome, you feel lack confidence. So it's really, you really have to remember that like really you're in the right place. And also what has been helpful for me is really focusing on achievement and celebrate small wins, and compare myself past self, not with others.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's something that have been helpful, and having self-compassion, like just treat yourself as your friend and being so kind to yourself. Don't beat up yourself if not something doesn't go well, and just really like be kind to yourself. So then like when you lose confidence, because you're the only cheerleader for yourself. So that's what I would say for the people who would lose confidence.
You are so on it with that, Mai, because
I
like
can't.
even for myself, I feel like a lot of times I'm losing confidence in myself, and I
Hmm.
get anxious because I am doing things that are new, and I'm always worried about failing. And then, I kind of do need that repeated wake up call of be kind to yourself, because this is new and this is hard, and I think that all of us in this space need to remember that.
Yeah, and what I really want to say is like, Sarah, like I think artist is the bravest people in the whole world, because
Oh,
I'm entrepreneur and I'm really scared to put my company out there. But as an artist, it's just like you're putting yourself out there, and it's just so scary. And like I just don't know how unbelievably scary it is. But like artists, just put yourself out there, and then like really try hard, and then like really like work hard to like put your art in the front. So I really really have so much respect to like artists like you.
Oh, well, you know what? I think I speak for all the artists that are in this space listening right now that, you know, sharing our art with people is kind of like taking our souls and like turning it inside out for the world to see. And so sometimes whenever people have like feedback on your artwork, like sometimes it can really feel like a dagger to your soul. So
Mhm.
I really appreciate those words. But, my same thing goes for folks like you who are creating so much good in the world and creating so much progress in the world. So we definitely appreciate you as well.
100%. Yeah, I agree on every point. I think it's also maybe a little timely for me because I'm getting closer and closer to finishing my first little NFT project. And so I
Yes.
Yay.
personal therapeutic right now where I'm like, you know what? Yeah, don't take criticism so hard. I need that. I need that in my life right now.
By
But
the way,
everything you
everybody in
said
the room,
works.
this is a Dane plug. He doesn't want me to do this, but Dane is an absolutely
Yeah.
phenomenal artist and not just a smooth talking co-host. And his art is phenomenal. And as soon as it drops, I think you all are going to be blown away. It's a one-of-one collection. It's fantastic. It really tells a story, and his talent is through the roof. So I know this was totally out of left field, but he's amazing. Please
You
go
guys are very
follow
sweet.
him and
I want
check
to
it
get
out.
in the pre-sale list then.
Well, there's only going to be 10 of them, so you're going to
Wow,
getting
I'll
Yes.
fight
Very
hard.
exclusive. Very
but no,
exclusive.
it'll be great, and I think everything you like. I appreciate you guys saying that. We don't normally go this route, but I think with just where I'm at and what's coming up, I think it's great, and I appreciate the advice on keeping one's confidence and everything, and yeah, it'll be great. It really will be. I think it's gonna tell a really good story, and yeah, so. But I think enough about me. Not why we're here, as fun as this is. We want to open the floor up to questions from the audience. So, guys, if we have any questions, we would absolutely love for you to come up. If you're shy and you don't really want to come up here and ask a question, feel free to shoot them out in the Discord. Jake and Sarah are going to take a look in there, and we'll obviously announce any of those questions as they come in. It's honestly, this is one of the best times and opportunities if you want to get some really good information about the NFT space, what's going on. If you just want to figure out how to get involved with Curious Addys, what some of the plans are coming forward, please feel free to ask any questions. If you guys don't, I already have some in my back pocket. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and open it up to the floor.
Well, I will say that the questions are rolling in on Discord, so I'm going to get jumping on that. We have gbaby.eth in Discord, who's well, first and foremost, he's got a compliment for you. He said, Mai, you're amazing. What would be a home run for Curious Addys in 2022?
Yeah, home run. So we'll keep building, and what I kind of wanted to talk about this is we wanted to be the biggest decentralized knowledge base in the space.
Yes.
Yeah, so we built this QA bot which allows anyone to come into our Discord and ask question. And then once someone asks question, all the people who are willing to answer question is going to be pinged. And then they can jump on to answer questions. And when if the answer gets marked as accepted or upvoted, the person who answered the question can get the points. So the what's more exciting thing, I'm
That's
sorry. Yeah, what's more exciting about thing is we save all the question and answer to the database, and then it's going to be public on the internet. Because the problem right now is, if you try to look for the answer for certain Web3 related questions, you just can't find the answer on Google because no one has asked before, no one has answered before. So
Wow.
we are publishing all the question answers. So then people can start like those question answers will start popping up on Google search. So then people can have more answers to the questions everyone has. So that's we are going to be really excited to be like the biggest knowledge base for everyone
Yeah.
can find the
Thanks
answer.
for answering questions. That's amazing.
I feel like my brain explodes pretty much every single time you start explaining things because I am so impressed. But
So sweet.
before I pull Cameron up for his question, let me ask one more real quick from the Discord. This one's also from gbaby.eth, and it says, also, what is an underrated project that you're bullish on?
Yes, good question.
Oh yeah, the project that like really I love. So like Jake said, I love project that have the like have the power to like build. So
Mhm.
Oni Squad has been like this. It's so underrated because they have the dream team, the serious dream team. Like I think the architect of consensus and like so many serial entrepreneurs and like advisor of Polygon studio or something. So like they're so great developers, and they just launched the game, and the game quality of the game was so good. But it's still really underrated. So I have one, and I want to like support them. But they really are building like great stuff. Yeah.
That's all. Can you say that name one more time? Because I'm about to go look them up. Anything
Yeah.
you say, I'm looking into. Can you say the name one more time?
Thank you. It's called Oni Squad. So it's like a ONI and Squad.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, it's on the list.
Mhm. Yay.
Cameron, you've been waiting super patiently
Yeah,
there.
come
Go
on up,
ahead and
Cam.
ask
Hey,
a question.
hello?
Yep.
Hey.
Can you guys hear me? Hi,
Yes, we
hi.
Yes.
can.
Thank you for having me. I'm a big fan of Curious Addys and Women and Weapons. I'm a holder of Women and Weapons, and I first actually heard of the Curious Addys when Zeneca promoted it, but I forgot to actually buy in the project. So seeing the AMA with Women and Weapons hosting you guys, I had to jump in, and after listening to this AMA, I'm gonna go and sweep the floor. So,
Yes.
Woo!
yeah.
You're the
So,
best.
yeah, thank you. My question for you is, what are your guys' like plans or girls, my bad, for like marketing this project? Because as I see it right now, a lot of like um, the prices for other NFT projects, they're being driven by marketing, like branding, and
Mhm.
it's kind of a lot of BS, but not a lot of them are truly developing like major things like you guys are in the Web3 space. So I like the approach that you guys are taking, but right now there isn't a lot of exposure for the project. So I was wondering, like, what kind of what's your guys' strategy marketing wise? Are you guys gonna like take a more laid back approach and let people learn about it, or is that in a different phase of the project after you guys have like developed more things, or like, yeah, what are you guys planning on like marketing wise?
Amazing question. Thank you so much for asking. So that's actually answer the question, the latter part of the question that Jake asked earlier. So one of the struggle is like we are all engineers. We are two engineers, so we love building things, but we are not necessarily like spend so much time marketing. But now that we have like so many things, we are like slowly gearing into more of marketing. And one thing that we are going to start focusing on is Twitter thread, educational Twitter thread, because what we have is like we have so much question answers from Discord bot that like really like great answers that really no one really talks about, but it's just so important information. And if we start posting those on Twitters, like it's going to be really, really helpful. And Twitter thread and Twitter spaces seems to be really the most effective marketing tool as far as I saw on Twitter. So we will start doing a lot of Twitter spaces, Twitter thread, and a little bit and Twitter space as well. But what we are also really excited about is a little bit more long term. But SEO is going to be really the key. So, for example, the article that I wrote about gas, how to manually take gas, even though I wrote it in like August, it's already fourth or third in Google search when someone looks up gas, how to set gas. So if we really start posting question and answers, that's gonna be really, really because there's no question and answers already on the internet. That's going to take place all the SEO place for all the Web3 related questions, just like Stack Overflow for programmers. So that's kind of long-term plan for marketing as well.
That's genius.
That's an awesome answer, and I will say, just to add on this, I'm not on the marketing team of Curious Addys, but what I will say is that sometimes building speaks for itself, and there will be an enormous supply shock of, supply coming into the market this year and beyond. But what there will not be an enormous supply of is people actually building things, and there is a select few that are actually seriously building amazing things for this space. And Curious Addys is one of them. And it's only going to take just so long before people start to take note. So, yeah, that's all I have to say on that. But 82 Foundation, I know you've been waiting super patiently. So come on up, ask your question.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Uh, Thank you. I'm outside, so I was wondering if the noise would just like go in. Hi, I'm 82 Foundation, and I'm a new project about talking about women in space. But I really enjoyed the talk today. Thought it was very inspiring. I really liked what you're doing. I have two questions. So I was wondering if you would support other language like Japanese or French, Korean. I was wondering that, and another thing would be, if would you do like a collaboration with other projects?
Yeah, like that's a fantastic question. Like seriously, like anytime we just don't have content writers. I mean, like someone who translate. So like I could do Japanese, but I'm bad at languages, so I don't really want to do that. So if there's anyone who are able to translate, we're so happy to partner. And we have engineers, so we can always do multi-language like approach. So that's not a problem. So yeah, if like anyone's interested, I'm like we are really happy to partner anytime.
Thank you.
82 Foundation, did you have a second question?
The second question was how to like, regardless of the translation, like if you would just do a collaboration with any projects.
Like any general like collaboration.
Yeah, like if you would just do like a partnership.
Yeah. Like we have been partnering. For example, like Meta Angels, like Allison's here. So we partner with Meta Angels for like gold list spots for them for their like spots. So like if we have find a good project that's really like that looks amazing, we always partner with them. And also like we partner with a lot of projects for educational purposes, for sharing the resources and so on. So if you have any like partnership ideas, I'd love to hear more, and we can discuss more about it.
Thank you.
All right, Miss Mai, we got our last question for you for the evening.
Yay.
This one's coming from our Discord. This is T Money Bobo. Cute name. They're asking, can you explain the game a little bit more?
Explain the game.
The Curious Addys game.
Yeah, so right now we have different games. So it's not like totally one game, but so we have trading platform where you can trade cryptocurrencies. That's one game, and we are going to add gamification to that. Like for example, right now we are doing the contest of like whoever made the great portfolio for within a week gets like $200. So we are going to have more gamification of adding more tokenomics. And the future plan is we still have been talking with our lawyer, but basically like what we want to brought in is learn to earn and teach to earn. So what it means is that by learning and going through all the like tutorials and like games, you start earning the rewards. And also, if you teach and share your knowledge or portfolio strategy or answering questions, you also gain some like rewards. So those are the tokenomics that we have been thinking, and we are finalizing with our legal advisor for how we are going to give a rewards. But that's what the tokenomics that we have been thinking. And game itself, it's gonna be what I mentioned: the trade.curiousstudies.com and adventure.curiousstudies.com, and the Discord QA bot that you can earn the points by asking questions.
That's
That's
such a
so
yeah.
so freaking awesome, and I know that's a precarious line to tread, and I'm so happy to hear that you guys are being very thoughtful about it. But I love the idea. Once this all gets kind of figured out, I absolutely love the idea of learn to earn or teach to learn.
Yeah.
I think that's super innovative and going to be really awesome. I know we have 3 minutes left, and we said that last one was the last question, but you've got someone probably interested in buying up some Curious Addys, and they want to know, does rarity matter for the Curious Addys collection?
It does. We haven't really tied rarity into our gaming, and we are actually thinking moving away from like rarity that people
Mm-hmm.
usually care. And this is like we still have like we I don't want to promise because we haven't really thought about it. But what we really appreciate is really like long-term community members who spend a lot of time in our community and contribute to our community, and we are thinking of different ways to reward people and maybe like add the story to each addy and make that addy add the reality adds with the story. So not like reality for trade, it matters maybe for the price, but we also want to kind of introduce the new reality of like if you spend a lot of time contributing community, we will add the story to the addy, and then that will work as also reality. But this is we don't I don't want to promise. We just had the idea. So short answer is the reality at the moment is the same as other project, but we want to add more different concepts to
Yeah,
it.
build it out even more.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. And with that, I know that you've got to be off, and we don't want to take up too much time, too much of your time. You've got stuff to build and things to do. But before we go, do you have any last words or anything like that before we head out of here?
Yeah, if you know any like friends or family who are interesting in Web3 but haven't really didn't really know how to get started, come to our Discord and learn more about Web3 with us. And we have great community members, and we have really good team members who are going to like teach you from scratch. So that's one thing that I want to say. And other thing is, this space really is the best space because I usually have like really can't talk well, but like thanks to all the like really like three of you are just like superstar hosts. It's so crazy
Oh,
how amazing this
Oh,
Mai.
atmosphere is. So I
let's
just
go
wanted to
for
say
another
like
10 minutes. You keep going.
He loves the compliments.
And
Well,
honestly, I want to say real quick, I am so impressed with you. When we chatted a little bit, you were like, I don't know, my English might not be that great, and you came out here and absolutely killed it. You could not have articulated your points better. I'm so impressed with you. I'm going to be a Discord member now. I'm going to follow you guys as much as I can. Getting in and doing some of this research has been awesome. Getting to learn about your project. The more I looked into it, the happier I was, and so this one was actually really fun for me. So.
Thank you so
And
much.
Mai, you are truly the epitome of a good human. So we are ecstatic that we were able to have you on the show tonight. You've provided so much value to everybody in the audience, and I think that we're going to have so much to learn from you and Curious Addys, and we're just looking forward to the brilliant future that's going forward with you guys.
Yes.
Great.
And Twitter was kind enough to allow us to record this space for the first time. So if you missed it, don't worry. Or if you came in late, you will be able to replay the space. And thank God, because it was a really good one, full of lots of knowledge.